Mid-month messages. What are the messages to come out for Capricorn? What are some messages to come out for Capricorn? Seven of Pentacles and the Death card. Alright. Capricorn, it seems like there is a transformation coming into play for the rest of the month. It seems like something that you're working towards is going to waste. There's a lot of disorganization that's coming through, or some type of like chaotic present that's going to come to an end soon, which is going to lead to a new beginning for you soon. Tell me more. Tell me more, Capricorn. We got the King of Cups, Knight of Wands. What else? What else can you tell me for Capricorn? Three of Wands, Eight of Swords. Page of Wands. Okay. Alright. So, we got the King of Cups and the Knight of Wands. And this is showing me that whatever is going to come in soon to begin is something that's going to really take your attention away, Capricorn. I'm seeing that, like, you're on the borderline of being very obsessed with this new project. It's really giving you a lot of energy with that Knight of Wands too. It's something that you're very heavily passionate about and drives you. You look at it as a new adventure that you're so like ready to like dive right into compared to what was lost. And this is very like straightforward for you, Capricorn. You're not one to waste time, are you? I do see here though that there are some delays that might cause you to feel very disempowered. But like, you know, like it depends on how organized the situation is. You don't want to come in too disorganized, because then that's going to cause delays. And then you're going to feel a lot of fears when you're like, you don't have control when you're disempowered. But I do see that like you're very enthusiastic at the same time. You may not be at the very top of this control of this project, but I'm seeing that like there's so much that you're enthusiastic about, but just be careful with how naive you might come off, because I do see this Wheel of Fortune coming in, which shows me that this is a karmic cycle for you. Now, this could mean that this is something that happens to you on a regular, a pattern that will reoccur in work or in relationships. It could also indicate like some unfinished business from this lifetime or from previous lifetime. But there's definitely something here that talks about destiny. Like this is a lesson from the universe about like going about this repetitive cycle. I do see here as well that we have the Hierophant in reverse and then the Eight of Pentacles coming in as well. So there is a part of you that wants to rebel, but you're, you know, like you don't want to commit to this, but at the same time you are. And it's showing me that like, you know, like you can't really run away even though you want to. It's showing me that like you're very much, you know, trying to persevere despite the circumstances, and like, you know, hone your skill set while trying to work through this new cycle. Let's pull out some hidden factors. What are some hidden factors that are going to occur for the rest of the month for Capricorn? Okay, you'll see these cards are coming out. The Nine of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Chariot. What else? What are some hidden messages? Okay, let's take a look at this. And then this one also. Okay. So Capricorn, in terms of hidden factors for the rest of April, it shows me that there is going to be a point where you will be reaping the benefits of your efforts, and really like I see very much so that you will be successful in this new project, and you're going to be enjoying the benefits of your efforts. What others might say is the fruits of your labor. But then you do have the moon in reverse coming out. That's showing me that there's a lot of like repressed emotions, and maybe some things that you might have been confused about that might show itself as well and be released outside. I'm not sure if this is pertaining to you or another person, but it seems like there's going to be some exposure of like some emotions that have been bottled up for a while. Then you have the chariot, and then the Six of Pentacles coming out, right? The Chariot is reversed in this sense. So it's showing me that there is some lack of control, which is kind of like interesting to see for you, Capricorn. Maybe you've been bottling up a lot of emotions lately, and now like it's suddenly coming out in the open. But it seems like something might be triggering you later this month, where you're going to be releasing a lot of your fears and a lot of your doubts, and you know, like there's a lot of aggression coming from you. I'm not sure what is causing that, but I do see here that there is a situation of give and take. You might be coming across someone who is very generous that triggers this side of you. Maybe you might be coming across someone that is always giving but never really taking, and then they have you open up. Hi, Heidi. And then I see this part. I have a feeling this is involving another person, because with the Four of Pentacles here, it talks about, you know, conservation and somewhat greediness and being thrifty. And then I feel like these are two people, like, take it how it resonates, but someone here is the Queen of Swords, where they have unbiased judgment and they have clear boundaries and they're very direct, very cold. And then we got the Knight of Wands coming in, who has a lot of energy and wants to take action. So maybe this is involving someone who's very stern and direct, that's kind of being very thrifty. I'm not sure if this is you or someone else, but there's another person here that's very much passionate and fearless and wants to go try out different things. Kind of like break out of your shell and let's go try something new. Let's get some advice. You have the Eight of Cups. Three of Wands. Star. Four of Cups. Two of Swords. And then King of Cups. Okay. I'm going to read the cards that are upright. That gives a lot more context in terms of your advice. And then I'll do the overall interpretation. So with the Three of Wands, it talks about a planning period in which it's time to put those plans into action. Open the doors of opportunity to broaden your scope. Start thinking long term and be ready to embrace change. Okay? Then you have the Star card upright. That talks about how it comes after. Let me read this. Kind of weirded wording. As the Star follows the Tower card in Tarot, it comes as a welcome reprieve after a period of destruction and turmoil. You have endured many challenges and stripped yourself bare of any limiting beliefs that have previously held you back. You are releasing your core essence, who you are beneath the layers. And then we have theft, abandonment, and privation. And then you got the Two of Swords coming out. Okay, so the Two of Swords is about being stuck with a difficult decision and being afraid to proceed. However, lack of action may make the situation worse. A decision must be made, but once you have all the needed information, so indecision, need for balance, and stalemate. And then you got the King of Cups. King of Cups, while still a very emotional being, the King of Cups is a master of restraint and keeping his emotions in control. He does not bottle his feelings, however, rather he is the perfect balance of feelings and intellect, who knows how to respond to any situation accordingly. So we have balance, generosity, and emotional, maturity. Okay. Now I'm going to just interpret it, and then I'm going to proceed. Let's see. So we have the Eight of Cups and the Three of Wands. So in terms of your advice, Capricorn, it's telling us that there is a lot of fear of the unknown that you have. I guess these are some bottled up emotions that you're not showing. Is that you're afraid of the unknown and you don't want to come off as hopeless. But with that Three of Wands, it talks about you just being prepared and learning how to set yourself up for success and being open to any type of expansion. Look at it as an expansion of a new skills, okay? And then the Star talks about theft and abandonment being exposed, right? But the thing is, I think here with you, Capricorn, you're very hardworking, but just be careful of people who might be taking advantage of you and just using you. There are times where you do feel alone with this Four of Cups in reverse. You might be bored and you might be isolated and you might talk to people that aren't really good for you, and you have to be careful of that. And then you have the Two of Swords followed the King of Cups, right? Which talks about an indecision and needing a balance in your life. But again, with the King of Cups, which also talks about balance, it talks about balance in terms of generosity and emotional maturity. So I think one of the things here that you're afraid of is exposing your emotions and how mature that level is. Because a lot of Capricorns out there are very much kind of caved in, tunnel vision based on work, but they don't really focus on their personal growth. And I think what's important here is really focusing in on that personal growth of your emotions. There's times where you feel aloof because you're always alone, and there's times that you haven't really went out there and explored different people. So just be careful. If you do, you want to make sure that the person is within a good balance with you. Give and take. Not you always giving and giving and then taking advantage of you and taking from you, because then that's theft to a certain degree. And it's important to call it for what it is, okay? But yeah, that's your advice, Capricorn. If that resonates, I hope it helps you. What's some mid-month messages for Taurus? What are some mid-month messages for Taurus? Let me actually do another shuffle, just so we're on the same. Yeah, we're out of order. Heat. Chaos. Alright. Got the Knight of Wands showing himself. And then the Page of Cups. Interesting. So Taurus, your mid-month messages for April of 2026. It seems like you're very much distracted and rushing into things, but you're also maintaining the sense of your artistic side. Yeah, I see that you're really honed in. You're locked in. You're really focused, and you're trying to follow your intuition in achieving this goal of yours, but you're very much rushing into things without really thinking things through. So be careful. There's a sense of carelessness that might impact your locked in focus here. Can you tell me more for Taurus? I love them. Oh, interesting. Okay. I haven't seen that one in a bit. We got the Ace of Cups, Two of Swords, Justice, and the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, this is getting very interesting. Oh, Taurus is going through something, guys. Very interesting. Okay, let's start with this. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups followed by the Two of Swords, the Justice card, the Wheel of Fortune, Page of Pentacles, and the Sun in reverse. And then the Three of Wands followed by that Three of Pentacles. 3 is coming out twice. I'm not sure if 3 means something or the number 33 means something, but this is popping out to me for some reason. So this could be a love reading because we got the Ace of Cups here followed by this Two of Swords. So Ace of Cups could mean like a love reading, opening to romance, but it's also overpouring a cup full of emotion. Hold on, let me put this down. It's distracting me. This is BTS Lo-Fi. Hi Heidi. Yeah, so like the interesting thing about Ace of Cups is like usually someone is coming in to offer something, but it could also mean an overload of emotions. So you have this coming in, which is potential love, and then you've got something here involving like being at a crossroad and trying to make a decision, but you're not really sure what to do. It's like you're getting overwhelmed with your emotions and it's like impacting your decision making. But like earlier, you're really like locked in and you're kind of like, you feel rushed to do something. But then you got the Justice card here with the Wheel of Fortune. So this is like a karmic cycle. Like it's destiny to some extent for this to happen. But it could also be a reoccurring pattern in your life that keeps happening until like your lesson is learned. So I'm not sure if this is talking about a person of interest that got your emotions wired up this way. But there's a part of this that makes you want to be very fair. You want to be fair and you want to wait for the truth first before going into something. Because, you know, you don't want to like, you're not sure if you're lucky or if this is like going to be karmic, like some karma that like, you don't want to rush in and bad karma happens. Maybe someone here is taken and you have a crush on them and they're giving you like mixed signals and you're feeling guilty in making a move. Because like, you don't want to have bad luck, but then you can't help how you feel. And then you don't want to leave them hanging. So, like, you're just like, how do, like you're really much focused on this thing. This emotional connection. And this could be anyone, but like, this is like the kind of vibe I'm getting. Like, you're not sure if you should, but like, God, your emotions. Should you trust your emotions or should you trust your logic, you know? But like, what's right from wrong, you know? Is it going to come back to me? And it's maybe this is something that happens with you often. But, yeah. There is also some opportunity coming into play here that is like also distracting you. Or maybe like, you see some, I don't know if this is like someone who is wealthy that caught your attention. Or like, this is someone at the workplace. But like, there's an idea or opportunity that's going to come into play that you're a little like, it's weird because it's presenting itself as an opportunity, but with the Sun in reverse, it's kind of like giving negative energy. Like you're depressed. Like you're not happy about this opportunity. And that's what makes me think, if this is a love reading, is this someone that's taken and showing interest, but they're not leaving the person they're with? Is that why, like, you feel like... do you feel like a sneaky link? Do you feel like a side piece? Because you're getting an opportunity with someone you like, but they're not like prioritizing you, and that's what makes you feel negative about the whole thing. It's very interesting. But then you have here the Three of Wands and then the Three of Pentacles. So it's like there's a lot of planning involved here. A lot of planning on whether or not you should or shouldn't. You haven't really given the yes. That's why there's like a lot of indecisions that's going on here. But at the same time, it seems like you're also kind of like talking to others about this and getting their opinion. I see people coming along talking too. Or maybe you even heard something from people talking together, maybe at the workplace, gossiping about this situation or this person, and you don't want to be a part of that. That's why you're reluctant in going forward. So you're still thinking things out and you're trying to plan it out. Interesting. This is tea, guys. What are the hidden factors? What are the hidden factors for Taurus for the rest of April? Oh, we got Page of Cups coming out again. And then we got the Two of Swords coming out. Yo, it's always tea when I see the card come out again. What is happening here, bro? What's going on with you? What you doing, Taurus? What are the hidden factors? What are the hidden factors for Taurus? Kind of like crazy ass tea, not gonna lie. Okay, let's read this. Alright, we got the Two of Swords coming out again. But then you got the Hangman in reverse. So you're still, in terms of hidden factors, you're still having a hard time making a difficult decision. And because of that, things aren't really going forward due to the lack of decision. Like, even if you look at things in different perspectives, it's still not really you're not making any moves, is what I'm getting here. With that Page of Cups again, but this time accompanied by the King of Cups, it seems like there are things that makes you really curious. You are trusting your intuition here. You're not ignoring that. And you're encouraged to continue doing that. Like, there is some stuff about this that makes you curious. And, you know, there are a lot of, creative opportunities that are coming into play with this. But with that King of Cups next to that, it's talking about being more diplomatic and compassionate and having more control of things and being balanced, right? Like, you see this guy, he's holding cups, but then he's also holding a scepter. It's like, he's very stern, he has self-control, and he's able to handle things that are coming to him, right? So I'm guessing Taurus, even though you're still kind of in this energy of not really knowing what to do and being curious and being very much in your in your head about things and with all the curiosity that you might have, I think what I see here most importantly is that you want to make sure that you come off very diplomatic, that you have self-control. Like, even though you're excited, you don't want to come off that way, right? Like, you have some self-respect. And then, you see here, you have the Six of Swords with that Ten of Cups. So this is talking about, transition. So I think what's important here is, and this is hidden factors, right, that you don't know. Maybe this person can sense that, you are not making decisions and you're thinking things through. And they do see you as being, very artistic. But, you do come off very respectful at the same time, right? But I think in terms of these two cards with the Six of Swords and the Ten of Cups, this person seems like they are leaving behind a connection because they want to be happy. They want to have their happily ever after, right? With that Ten of Cups. They want to have a very more blissful relationship. But they haven't quite yet. They're still transitioning from leaving things behind. I think this person who might be in another situation, it would make sense if the Three of Swords would have come out, but it hasn't. So I'm guessing whatever situation that they're in, whether it's being living with family that they can't be themselves, or another relationship, or maybe even another job or state, they're not letting go just yet. They're still transitioning of emotionally leaving behind that connection, because they know they want to find happiness and they see the happiness with you. And I think you sense that. That's why you're a bit reluctant and you're not really pushy. But, there's a part of you that's really eager for this as well, and they know that. But, they're still, trying to transition out of that, right? But then you got the Hermit in reverse, followed by the Star upright, right? So, I don't know if this is you or someone else, but somebody is going to be withdrawing and not really, talking. There's a lot of, withdrawal and someone feeling very lonely. But, I don't know if this is you or the other person, but, there's gonna be a withdrawal period despite all these indecisions. And with the Star, you're gonna be very much thinking a lot about things. You're gonna be feeling calm. You're gonna try to understand spiritually what you want to do going forward. This is a lot of reflection that's gonna happen here. So I'm guessing with this person who hasn't really left to be happy with you, it's going to make you feel a type of way. You're going to withdraw, and you're trying to find like purpose after this. Like you're going to go through a deep introspection about yourself. Let's pull out some advice cards. Advice cards for Taurus. Hi Martinez. Hi Heidi. What's some advice cards for Taurus? Six of Wands. The Moon in reverse. The Emperor in reverse. Nine of Swords reverse. Eight of Pentacles reverse. And Ace of Swords. Let's read this. Alright. As always, since this is the advice section, I will read the cards that are upright. So there's only one card that is upright here. And then I'm going to read the overall interpretation of all these cards that came out in terms of advice. So, starting with Six of Wands, after a tough battle, you have come up on top and are very publicly being recognized for it. This is a great motivation booster for you to keep continuing with what you're doing. Excuse me. However, remember not to let it get to your head and turn into arrogance. And some keywords is triumph, public recognition, and success. So you have success coming your way, Taurus, okay? But don't be too boastful, you know? Is what I'm getting from this. And then you got the Moon card in reverse, which talks about like some silence and like black intuition. Usually the Moon upright reveals a lot, but I think in this case, like, yeah, you're gonna come across some success like later down this month, but a part of you is not really getting the full picture. There are some things that are not being shown to you, and like it's also like because of that your intuition isn't like fully at the highest point it could be. Maybe there's something that like you haven't really like paid attention to that is happening under your radar. And with the Emperor in reverse and the Nine of Swords following in reverse, it talks about like this abuse of like power and a need for control, but also talking about somewhat of like feeling hopeless, guilty, and overthinking. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is you or the other person, but in terms of advice, you can't control everything. Okay, life is not like TV where everything is like pretty much set up where it's like A to B to B to C. Life is much more complex than that, and things don't always go as planned. Okay, so you can't really like control people. You can't really control how things happen. You kind of go with the flow and see where it takes you, and don't over anticipate. I think that's a problem here that a lot of people do, is like they over anticipate because they try to have control of their situation because they want to have a level of stability in their life. They don't like having instability. And like Taurus, like you're really well known for being the bull, but like there's a lot of Taurus out there that feel like they need to have control of everything, and that's just not realistic. Okay, and yeah, you're gonna be overthinking a lot and you might even feel guilty, but like that's not how things go, you know. And then here you have the Eight of Pentacles and then the Ace of Swords, right, which talks about perfectionism, impatience, and then goes into the Ace of Swords, which talks about like hostility and lack of clarity. So I think what's really important here is understanding that even though you might be successful at some things, sometimes there's things that happen under your radar that you're not aware of and you can't have control over, you know. And when you don't have control of something and it's not really like the truth isn't being completely exposed to you, you might distrust others and you might feel a type of way. But you have to understand, like, things aren't always as they don't always go as planned. Alright? Like, there's a lot of like professionalism and impatience here, but like you also kind of have to be grounded a bit, you know. And because you're not really aware of things with that Ace of Swords in reverse, like, you're gonna be upset, but it's best to know the truth, like the whole truth, even if it hurts, instead of just going on like white lies. And I think that's something to be wary of, is that somebody might not be giving you the full context of things and it's just making you feel really negative. But you also have to remember, like, you can't control people. You can't control the sequence of events that happens in life, alright? Like, it is what it is. Like, there's only certain things you have control of, and it's just like, you know, don't overthink this too much, you know? But yeah, I hope that resonates with you and helps you. That was for Taurus. What's up, Shaya? What's up? Let's go. Let's go, Virgo. What are some messages, mid-month messages for Virgo for April 2026? What are some mid-month messages for Virgo? Okay, we got the High Priestess in reverse, and then the Four of Swords in reverse. Without a doubt, Virgo, you are exhausted. You are exhausted, you are stuck, you are feeling restless. Sometimes you're up at night thinking about a lot of stuff, but there's some things here that cannot be like resolved with just intuition. Alright, you need some evidence. You're going off of logic here. Whatever this is that's also plaguing your thoughts at night, you can't just base it off on your intuition. You need evidence. Hi, baby K. I'm gonna hop over to my friend's live. Thank you for letting me rant and talking about my issues. Yeah, no problem. Anytime. What's up, baby K? Nails look so good. Oh my god, thank you. These are actually press-ons that I got from Amazon. But they were like a new brand that I haven't tried. I was like, oh. Tell me more for Virgo. We got the Page of Wands, the Four of Pentacles. Oh, you have the same ones? Twins! What else? Tell me more for Virgo, please. Virgo, you are stressed. What is going on here, brother? Page of Wands, Four of Pentacles, King of Cups. What else? Oh, I see one flipped. Eight of Wands in reverse. What else? What else can you tell me? We got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, I see these are coming out. What is this? Okay, let's read this. There's something going on here with y'all, Virgo. What's happening? What's happening for my Virgos? Alright. Okay, so with the Page of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. So, Virgo, what I'm seeing here is that you have your eyes set on a certain goal here. And you're being very enthusiastic. Maybe a little too enthusiastic. There's a negative connotation of being naive as well. But, like, there's a part of you that wants to discover new things, Virgo. At the same time, with that Four of Pentacles, there is this level of control you have over your assets and your finances. Security is very big. I think, like, you want to try new things, but you want to do it on a budget. You're trying to save a lot of money here for something long term, which is smart. No doubt about it. And maybe that's something that you've been thinking about a lot on top of you being restless, is like how, like, you could do things on a budget and be very, like, you know, like, tight with money. I do see here as well with that King of Cups, it's hard because you have this level of, like, being very generous to others and considerate. It's like you want to pour into other people's cups, but when it comes to your cup, you don't really, like, pour into it. You're kind of like just leaving it alone. I see that, like, Virgo, you are very much generous and balanced, and you have so much control on how you come off. Very diplomatic as well. Like, your image is very important. But there's something that's been bugging you regarding delays. There might also be some frustration from a miscommunication that occurred in one of your relationships. I'm not sure if this is relationship or even, like, a work venture that is not really, like, taking up to speed. But like there's something here that's kind of like frustrating you and is affecting your sleep schedule. And it's due to, it's with the Ace of Pentacles, it's due to like disorganization. It's not like you lost the opportunity, it's just that the way things are going with this opportunity is that there's a lot of delays and there's a lot of disorganization, and you're worried that it might not work out, right? But we have the Hierophant coming in, as well as that Knight of Cups, but in reverse. So you're very much in touch with your spirituality. Spirituality. My English. You're trying really hard to maintain yourself. You're trying very hard to stay committed to the situation. And you are very traditional, right? But like you have to be careful of that, because I do see with this Knight of Cups in reverse that somebody's gonna come in seeing that is really like untrustworthy. They might try to manipulate you because they think that because you're traditional and because you're very generous and you give so much to others, they might try to take advantage of that. And they probably think you're naive. Interesting. What are some hidden factors? What can you tell me for Virgo in regards to hidden factors? What are some things that Virgo doesn't know that they should be aware of? We got the Ace of Swords. Oh, this was like this. Queen of Cups. It's giving Cancer vibes. Not sure if you're talking to a Cancer. Ooh, interesting. Got the Death card upright, the Magician upright, Three of Cups in reverse, Seven of Wands, let's read this. This is getting interesting. Okay. Ace of Swords and Queen of Cups. So, you're going to make a breakthrough, Virgo. That's going to give you a lot of mental clarity later this month. This might involve someone that you see with a lot of compassion and is very nurturing and calm. You feel very comfortable around this person, like they have this healing aura. I don't know if this is like a mother figure or someone that you genuinely feel very comfortable talking with, but like it seems like this person is going to help you with a mental breakthrough that gives you a lot of new ideas and gives you a lot of positive energy. But then something happens. It seems like something's going to come to an end. It's like a transformation. But like, don't look at it as like a negative thing, because when things end, a beginning comes afterwards. So this is a transformative period. So I'm not sure if this person is like the person that you're going to end things with, or is going to help you understand that, you know, things are going to be okay. This is just a transitional period. Because once things come to an end, something else begins. And it's good because in this reading, the Magician comes right after it. Now, the Magician card is all about action, okay? It's calling power into manifestation. Whatever, and it's very rare for this card to come out in a reading. So, like, in this sense, right after the Death card, it's saying, yeah, things come to an end, but guess what? Something's going to happen. And you're going to actually manifest something that you didn't have before. And things are going to make sense. It's like the aha moment. That happened because that makes sense. It was meant to happen this way. I know this is coming really vague, but like, just go with it. And then you get the Three of Cups in reverse, right? Now, be careful about over partying and overindulgence, Virgo. Like, I get it, it helps as a distraction, but if you do that too much, it might not be good for your health. So, like, in moderation, like, feel your body and see if your body is up for, like, meeting with people or not meeting with people. Sometimes it's good to say no. Like, you can't always give so much of yourself to others when you really just need time to yourself, okay? And then you have here the Seven of Wands followed by that Two of Swords. So you're going to come across an interesting challenge here that you're not aware of after all this, which is important for your health to maintain it, because you got some conflict coming your way. And you might be either being very, like, either you're being challenged or you're being competitive with someone, but like, you had to make a decision here in terms of like whether or not you are going to be like weighing out your options toward the conflict. And it seems like there is no positive here. It's like both of the options in this conflict, they're both negative, but like it's saying you're going to go with the lesser of two evils, whatever that means, because then you have the Five of Swords following with that as well, which talks more about conflict. There's a lot of fighting here, a lot of competition, and you wanting to win at all costs. So like be careful of someone who might be sneaky and might try to pull some shit behind your back. They think they can get away with it when you're not looking. I don't know if you're competing with other people here, but like you're gonna be tested for sure. And then you got the Queen of Wands in reverse. Now the Queen of Wands in reverse talks a lot about being really confident and having a lot of self-respect. Alright? This, like, I think here, something here involving somewhat being envious or jealous of others, but having enough self-respect for yourself and self-confidence for yourself not to react openly, externally, with that, like, emotion of envy or jealousy. I don't know if this is over a girl or what, because it's like you get clarity over here, right? And it's talking about like someone with a lot of compassion, someone who's very nurturing, right? This is giving like if you're a male, like this is giving off like feminine energy, and it could be like a mother or someone. There's a female energy in here that gives you comfort. And then it talks about endings, an ending for a beginning here, which will then manifest an opportunity, and it will call you to action. And this is why it's also telling you you can't really like go out as often as you used to. You need to take a break, because overindulgence in partying and drinking is actually not going to help you this time. And I know this came out before in Virgo, but it was upright. Now it's going in reverse. It's like telling you to chill out with the going out and drinking, and just know that there's a lot of like competition and conflict here that is coming your way soon. And I think in a sense, maybe you are comparing yourself to others and you feel somewhat some type of way, but you have so much like dignity to not like externally show that. Phew. Let's get some advice for Virgo. Remember, this is hidden factors, okay? So this is stuff you don't know is about to happen. Alright, we got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Hey, we'll see. At the same time, it might not suit every Virgo that watches this. This is probably pertaining to specific Virgos with certain situations. But take it how it resonates, and always double check your birth sign placements. Like, this feels like it's a love reading, I'm not gonna lie. So what I would recommend is for y'all to check your Venus placements and see if Virgo is there, because then it probably will fit those who have Virgo in their their Venus placements. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what's up. We got the Page of Pentacles. After that, Two of Cups. Knight of Cups. Got a lot of cups coming out in your reading. I think my Venus is in Virgo, actually. Interesting. So let me know if this Virgo reading, once I post it, is like resonating with your situation. Because it's talking about a lot of conflict. A lot of conflict. A lot of like, you know, fighting here. And be careful of someone who might try to make like a jab at you behind your back. It even talks about being jealous. Ah, these three cards came out. Alright, so what I'm going to do is read all the cards that are upright and their description, which will help you guys get better context of what the card is trying to tell you. And then what I'm going to do after that is just read all the cards from this pulling and try to interpret the message that it's trying to like relay, right? So the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is about a relationship built on respect, harmony, and support. It is a love that is inspiring, emotionally fulfilling, and built from mutual attraction. While this card typically indicates romantic relationships, it can also signify non-romantic partners, like a business partner or a platonic friend. So some keywords here is unified love, attraction, and partnerships. And then you have the Knight of Cups, if I can pick it up. The ever-charming Knight of Cups is a man in touch with his intuition and uses his heart rather than his head to guide him through life. He is also a man of adventure. Now is the time to start exploring and putting your dreams and passion to action. Some keywords here is romance, adventure, charm, and intuition. I'm telling y'all, this is giving love vibes. And then we got the Fool's card. The Fool card. This is the beginning of your journey. The Fool starts his new path with innocence and optimism. Follow your heart and have faith in the universe to provide. Expect new doors to open and new opportunities to arise. So keywords is new beginnings, free-spirited, and delirium. Delirium! And then we have Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is boundless, intuitive, and a bit of an inner child. You don't be afraid to dream big and follow your heart. Additionally, be sure to listen to your intuition. It's trying to tell you something. And some keywords here is youthful energy, freedom, and inspiration. Okay. Ew, jealousy. My North Node is in Virgo. Is that still applicable? I mean, take it how it resonates. What I'm gonna do is I'm definitely going to edit this video and upload it on YouTube so that you guys can catch whatever you missed. And if it resonates with you, then there you go. Take the advice that is given in this part of the reading. But if not, like, don't force the message. Maybe it's meant for someone else. But I always ask people to double check their birth chart, because even though, like, let's say your sun sign is Aries, but your Venus is in Virgo, this might actually apply as a love reading to your Venus reading for Virgo, despite you being like another zodiac sign in your sun, you know? Because then if I do a love reading for Aries, and like Aries is not your Venus, maybe that love reading won't pertain to you. That makes sense. Notes are still being taken. Yeah, of course, no problem. That's why, like, with me, most of my readings are kind of like whatever comes out. And it's usually like a message that's very like important for that zodiac. So for Virgo, that's why I'm trying to feel it out. I don't think this is about work. I think this is about love. Because I'm getting a lot of cups coming into the advice. And there's a lot of like emotional strings being pulled here. So I'm getting that this is probably like someone who has a Virgo in their Venus sign, for sure. And so this is the advice that's coming in for this situation for the Virgo for the rest of the month. Granted, this is rest of the month, so like this is stuff that's going to happen either later this week or next week before May comes in. So if it hasn't happened yet, it's because this is about to happen. So along with the interpretation, we have the Queen of Cups and then we have the Two of Cups, right? Now, Queen of Cups is also in reverse, which talks about like being cold due to emotional insecurity. And then with that Two of Cups, it's aligning this with somebody that you have a partnership with, or someone you see as a partner, someone that you have a lot of attraction to. Like someone is either being very cold, this is either you or the other person, and it's because of emotional insecurity. That in particular. And then we have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So because of this emotional insecurity, there's also this lack of commitment, which makes sense, because it's like, unless you get that emotional security, how do you know you want to commit to something, right? So it's just like, if you get this kind of situation in your love life with someone, this must mean that like this person, for specifically the Virgo placements, this person does not feel secure. This could be the Virgo, this could be the person that Virgo is interested in. And because of that, like there's a lot of complacency in this. Like they're not willing to commit because they don't feel emotionally secure. Maybe you guys haven't really exposed your emotions. Maybe you need to do a gesture that really hits home, that tells you how that person feels, you know? And then here you have the Knight of Cups, which talks about romance, adventure, charm, and intuition. So like, I think the Knight of Cups came out earlier too. This is definitely something that you want to explore. Whoever this person is, like, they are attracted to your charm. There is definitely a romantic, like, lying there, and it just needs to be shown. There has to be an action that shows that romance and charm with that Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is going forward with it. It's like I'm running to pour into your cup. Like that's the action that's being called here, right? And then you have the Fool card, which and it's upright, which is good. It talks about a new beginning, okay? Be free. Be free to express your emotions. Let the other person know, and like charge to a new beginning. Because this is like, yo, what are you waiting for? Just go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing to be afraid of. And then you got the Page of Cups coming in, as well as that Four of Wands in reverse. So with that Page of Cups, it talks a lot about being free and inspiration and youthful energy. This is probably like one of those type of relationships that's kind of like the kind of young relationship that you get when you're a kid, like teenage love, first boyfriend, girlfriend vibes. Like it has this level of innocence to it that is very like inspiring and just so free. It's not traditional, for sure. And because of that, it's also exciting, but also causes a lot of tension. From what I see here with the Four of Wands, it shows me that this person might be a little unstable because they had a difficult home life. I'm not sure if this is you or the other person, but just know that like some people still carry the scars of their past and, you know, come from an unstable family and probably need to learn what it's like to be loved. And if you're able to teach that, then go for it. But yeah, I hope that resonates. And if it did, I hope it gives you some help, Virgo. I'm so sorry, I did not mean to hit that request. Oh no, you're okay, don't worry about it. I actually don't see it because like my phone is up here and I'm reading like the messages on my computer. And it doesn't tell me that you guys requested, so you're good. Yeah, it was Virgo, guys. Virgo, what's going on with all this tea and tension?